Well, you're gonna work 4 hours a day. You'll be like millionaire in 6 months. Who's telling you this and why you haven't blocked them yet? Because I'm here to tell you what it actually took. 19-hour work days for 2.5 years without sleep, without parties, without girls, without self-reflection Sundays, pure work. And these guys are on your feet telling you about glorious morning routines that you should follow. Filming, oh, I'm having a fancy breakfast. Telling you it's so easy. All you gotta do is, oh, just work 4 hours a day. Of course they say it's easy, otherwise the course wouldn't sell. They have to portray the path is easier for them to sell you the course. And that's what I fell into 2.5 years ago. I thought I'd be millionaire in 6 months. Online money is real. I promise you it's real. But easy online money? That's a lie. If you just learn the difference, and instead of installing that belief that it's so easy, you just gotta do 4 hours of work and then sip coffee the whole day, you're gonna become a millionaire. If you just consciously disapprove that and believe that the path is actually difficult and you have to walk through that path, that just one piece of mindset would separate you from people who believe it's so easy and that's why they procrastinate and they don't have fire under their ass to take massive action. And the guys who are selling like these info products are not even the biggest liars, honestly. The biggest liars, and one of the first foremost lies, literally takes away 16 years of your life. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you like, okay, school's a scam. You've heard that for most likely every single course seller, every single online guru. So you obviously know that fact. But I'm going to tell you something even worse than that. I won school. I was literally the topper of my entire school. And that was for straight 2 years. First topper in my family's history. Teachers loved me. All my classmates admired me. I was that main character. Had certificates, had trophies, all that yada yada yada. So I played their own game better than anybody in the building. And then when I walked in front of the queue and saw, okay, after doing all this hard work, studying day and night, what's the prize? The prize was just certification and then a job that is not even guaranteed. And then I said, okay, actually, the efforts I put here are not even worth no more. Because I was in medicine school, so I thought like, okay, so I'll literally study for next 10 more years of my life just to be eligible to become a doctor. And then God knows when you'll achieve financial freedom. And forget even about time and location freedom at all. And when I saw those terms and conditions, I denied all of them because the trophy at the end of all that blood, sweat, and tears was just a permission to work, just a permission to go to a vacation once a year, just permission to take holidays when you need to, not even when you want to. So I took a step back, and then it was Andrew Tate time, and all those beliefs stood in my mind. By the way, Andrew Tate literally lives in this Pagani penthouse. You can see in the reflection, literally in front of me. And then every thought in my mind was literally about rewiring my brain into online money, and believing about it. I've seen many people succeeding in it. And before I even left the school queue, there was a next trap. When I wanted to do online business and build something big, the next traps and set of lies was literally in front of me. And that was when I was choosing business models. And I'll reveal that here. Every business model that you're being sold right now by all these gurus, I've tried every single one of them, I promise you that. And most of them are actually buried. So let's go one by one. I've did drop shipping, so-called e-commerce core sellers that sell you drop shipping. So it needs ad money that you don't have. It needs money to order products, to even test them in the first phase before you actually get a winning products, to actually make some bit of money first. And then I've tried trading. It needs capital that I didn't have. And affiliate marketing, that's literally renting somebody's business and promoting that, and at the end the person disappears and you haven't built a business. That was just a side hustle. And I can go on and on and on and on and on. And that was 18 months of absolute zero, not even a small money, literally zero. Every single business I did literally made me no cash at all. Do you understand that? So one thing that I want to install in your mind, whenever you're seeing a new business model popping up or you are interested towards a specific business model, please ask the guy who's selling it one single question, or ask yourself, what's the cost of entering this business model and how long would it actually take for you to experience the first wins of that business model? Because the hidden entry fees of that business model is what makes broke kids die, and that's why they quit on their dreams. So the question wasn't what business model is the best. The question was which one has the lowest barrier to entry for you to experience your first wins fast so you can scale fast. And the funny thing is, whilst you're waiting for a perfect business model, while you're picking a business model, there's a software trap waiting for you. And I fell for this one properly. And I need to confess something, because I'm constantly watching every kid on internet trying to do online business falling in the single trap, and they don't even realize it until it's too late. So long ago, I built a bubble, and it was a beautiful one. I read books, checked my old habit tracker, journaling, morning routine, evening routine, night routine, all sorts of routines of every single kind. Dopamine detox, monk mode, a whole beautiful bubble that I was living in. Everything checked, and the bank balance said 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Because reading about war is not equal to fighting one. You can literally read books about how to swim, but you won't figure it out until you actually dip in the pool and figure it out. Highlighting atomic habits and reading that is not a habit. It's fake productivity. It feels like progress. It looks like progress. Your brain pays you like it's progress, and that's what makes it poison. I was the most well-read broke guy in the city of online money world, and I was surrounded by most of them, so we were feeling like it's the most productive zone we were ever in, and everybody's bank balance didn't back it up. And now, after getting out of that bubble, every killer I know, every real hustler I know, the ones who are actually printing and making bread every single day, are the night and day grinders first, self-improvement guys last. The books, all this productivity bullshit is an optimizer, but it's not a thing that actually helps you to get to your first wins. It helps to rewire your brain in a good zone, but it doesn't bring cash to your pocket. And you could read hundreds of books, but eventually you'll be only able to learn business by actually diving into it. You can read personal MBA like 1,000 times. You would sound smarter, but you won't play smarter. Because if you played smarter, you wouldn't be reading about it. You'd already know it, and you'd be already printing as a byproduct of it. Right, so that's the lies that strangers and everybody on the internet told you about. And now, the time for harder ones. The lies about people in your own house. Let's get into it. Mom thinks you're wasting your life, and actually I'm on her side. I mean, no, listen, I've lived this life. I've literally been in your shoes. I've lived this literally from a reality, from your seat. Big dreams, laptop, zero results, and my family just didn't doubt me quietly. They did something else. They cut in my Wi-Fi and snatched my laptop away from me because I wasn't studying anymore on the school. A topper, he used to be #1 in the whole school, is right now not even paying a little attention to it. My own family. And you know what? They were actually right. What I have shown them, 2 years of big talk and a laptop and zero results, switching from business model to business model, obviously they'll think I'm tripping. And one thing I'm going to tell you, doubt isn't hate. Doubt is literally just maths. And the numbers are zero. How could you want somebody to believe in you while the results don't back up what you're saying from last 2 years? And that's not a belief you're asking for. That's literally a charity. So don't argue the doubt away. You obviously have to work it, and your numbers should back up what you're saying, basically. And when that numbers actually start making sense, when you actually collect your first wins as fast as possible and the results back up what you say, watch the whole house shift their beliefs towards you. The same people who cut it off my Wi-Fi thinking I was following the wrong path are the ones who actually support me now, because they actually at the end of the day want the best for yourself. The kids who start to hate their family and they want to say, oh, I want to leave my hometown, or I want to move away from my family, you guys are absolutely wrong, because what results have you actually shown your family? How would they actually believe in you? They won't, bro, unless you actually have the results to back up what you say, back up what you claim. And when the whole house doubts you, they give you a title for it. And I want to talk about that title right now. And if the whole family agrees with your plan, I've got a terrible news about your plan. Think about what an agreement actually means. It means the plan fits inside what they already understand. And that's what made me a black sheep, and that's what's gonna make you a black sheep too. Cutting the internet, laughing at the vision, teachers laughed, first topper in the family, #1 topper from my whole school, and then instantaneously me realizing this path has no rewards, no well-deserved positions that you're gonna be in, and instantaneously me changing my whole direction from a topper literally to a failure, to literally learning the things I've never learned about business. Nobody put me on purpose, and that's the best thing ever happened to me, because comfort would have killed me too. I was already winning inside my school. Imagine if I did that for 5 more years. My life would have been wrecked, because everybody was validating me. I was literally in a comfort zone bubble. And the black sheep isn't the one who fails the family. The black sheep is the one who's the first one to find out the new paths. Someone has to go first, and that might be well as you. And family is just the one thing, but there's a group that's going to cost you even more than that. And I'm talking to that group which will text you every single Friday, every single day of the week. I'm going to reveal it exactly right now. If your WhatsApp doesn't give you invoices or your WhatsApp doesn't have the payment notifications, then you're using the wrong WhatsApp. Open your last group chat and tell me what those messages are. Go take a look at yourself. And every single message that gets your attention costs you something. Whether that could be come out tonight, bro. Come on, let's go party. Let's go have some fun. Or your friends blaming your patron that, oh, you've changed, bro. Now you're the big boss. You don't want to talk to us. Maybe you have changed. Oh, one night won't kill you. One night won't matter because it's not going to cost you nothing. And these messages might not be the ones that are taking money directly from your pocket, but the ones that are taking your time and focus, which cost even more than the money. Because what it does is it costs momentum. And once you have the momentum, you'd realize how expensive it is. I myself disappeared from last 2.5 years. I didn't talk to anybody. I wasn't responding on WhatsApp to all these messages that were trying to steal my attention somehow in some shape or form. They all said I lost the plot, maybe I lost the path, maybe I lost myself. And it wasn't a loss, it was actually solitude and an investment within myself. It actually paid better me than any of those nights would. Maybe it was just one day in a weekend, maybe it was just one day in a fortnight, but actually matters a lot because it can cost you a ridiculous amount of momentum that you'd realize soon once you're inside that. You have to go to the path of solitude where you only surround yourself with a little circle that believes in you and supports your dreams, and then on top of that are on the same mission as you. Maybe could have been a different path, but are on the same mission as you. Could be a little bit small, doesn't matter. You have to surround yourself with the minds that are not limiting you or not dragging you down within the traditional path. There's a version of you that's crying in a locked room right now and nobody knows. Everybody thinks this guy has lost his mind. And I'm gonna tell you the exact story that changed everything for me, and I'll show you that with me right now. Let's go. There would be a time in your life where everybody would be against you, such against you that you actually want to lock yourself in a room and never get out unless you achieve your dreams. I know this because that was my own room where the Wi-Fi was cut off by my own people, my own family. And obviously they did it out of protection. But at that time period when everybody is against you, you just have God, man. That's what you have. God who put the vision in your mind that he didn't put in anybody else's. The door was locked by my side. Laptop that was worse than a toaster on an iron stand because I couldn't afford a table. Me, myself, literally praying to God and crying, being emotional that everybody is against me. Midnight, 2 a.m., actual tears, thinking if I'm gonna even make it or not. Thinking, what if the plan goes wrong? What if the tables turn? Because at that point of my life, I actually burned all the bridges behind me. I wasn't studying at all. I was failing all the exams. And I was just funding a dream that haven't given me the results yet. And nobody's gonna tell you about this because they all wanna make it seem easy, that success is easy. Okay, being around in this environment is easy and everything is easy, but actually it's going to be the most difficult phase of your life that you'd have to go through in order to actually achieve what you want, achieve what you dream, achieve what you're seeing, achieve what you curate your own reality. And the crying isn't weakness, it's literally the cost. You're not breaking down, you're paying down. And the ones who would be congratulating you later would have never ever seen you crying in your own room because they're never wanting something bad enough that actually they would put a blood, sweat and tears in order to achieve the outcome that they want in their mind. They would just quit right away. What you gotta remember is room is just a phase, it's not the ending. And one thing that you gotta keep in your mind once you're in that phase is this shall to pass. Print those words in your mind. Please download them because it's gonna help you a lot, trust me. Okay, now let me tell you what's on the other side of that room. Starting with what money actually does, because you've been actually lied about that as well. And I'm gonna tell you a very contradictory statement that you probably heard it a million times so far. Money doesn't buy happiness, and that's correct. And you'd call me a fool for that, but actually, let me say what I want first. The people that are born with money on them versus the people who have to grind, put blood, sweat and tears, sacrifice literally their whole life, whereas seeing everybody around them in their own environment living a completely different life, whereas you yourself, you're a black sheep of your family and you're literally living in no sovereignty, all solitude, locked in your room, crying blood, sweat and tears, thinking if you can achieve it or not, thinking if it would to work or not, all that sorts of stuff, yada yada yada. I can go on and on and on and on and on. When you actually go through that and we actually start making very good money for yourself, then is when money buys happiness, because you've lived the journey. Without journey there is no joy. Joy is in it, the journey, because you're going to go through a lot of phases. It's going to change the perception of reality for you. It's going to actually put a new perspective in your own mind, and then that's going to be happiness for you. Oh, I lived this. Oh, I've been through the bottom, and now I'm on the top, and all the sky is the limit. So that is what's going to give you actual happiness. Money itself is just a piece of paper. It's just a digital currency on your card or your bank account. So it's just a numbers game. But if you actually go through the whole process, then is when you'll be happy and you'll strive for more. If you just make money out of some meme coin, don't do a real business, don't put in no blood, sweat and tears, trust me, money's never going to make you happy, because the journey itself is the joy. If you're always striving for more, you'll eventually be happy, because as men, that's how it's supposed to be. And you don't need some mad number to claim that back, because the number that you probably think, oh, you need 7 figures, 8 figures, and then you'll be happy, that's a lie. The number is so smaller than you actually think. And everybody says, oh, you need $10,000 a month to actually be happy, to actually live a very good life. Obviously that stands true, but eventually for you to start getting the fruits of your own labor, of your blood, sweat and tears, the number is so smaller than you think. I'm going to tell you this one fact, but it will actually change your thinking, because nobody tells you this. Your first $1,000 will do more to your brain than your first 10,000, because rest everything is just numbers on a screen. The first $1,000 proves to you that what you're working on actually works specifically for you, and that changes your identity, giving you a proof of concept that others, your family members and everybody can believe in you too. Because it's literally the first moment that the voice dies, where your brain is doubting you, the whole environment is doubting you, and that voice dies that day when you make your first grand. Because once you've seen that with your own eyes, nobody can talk you out of it ever again. And trust me, you'll want to go even harder, because now you have proof of concept. Your own mind doesn't sabotage you anymore, and everything after your first grind is just constant volume, constant repetition. But everything before it is literally a war within yourself, war within your mind, war within your environment. You're chasing something that people have never chase ever in your environment. And the war once cleared, the rest is just showing up and literally scaling what got you here and going to repetition by repetition. But how you make that first money matters more than you think, because the money can come in 2 types. There's 2 types of money in this game, and one of them actually stinks. It's a concept called good money and then dirty money. And I don't mean legal and illegal, but what I do mean here, I mean the money you can look in your mom's eye and be proud of, whereas the other one you cannot, because you've done some ridiculous things that will obviously never give you happiness, and that will actually get out of your character and bring you no closer to God. And it comes short term, super fast. The more mature you become, you will realize good money always compounds. The other one charges interest. I've never seen an exception, not even once, because good money, when it comes to you, it actually makes you do good things, whether that's donating to people in need, donating to charity, religious place, orphanages, etc, etc. But the bad one would actually make you do bad things, whether that's blowing up on a party, blowing up on your strip club, all this, etc, etc. So make sure whatever you're doing, you can do it long term. Don't fall in the trap of short term money, because it's going to hurt you long term. And worse thing than that is literally it will get out of your character. Instead of that putting closer to God, you'll be very distant, and you're not like seeing yourself in the mirror after a couple of years. And if you're just sat there thinking, okay, all this is fine, but I'm not talented enough, I haven't done enough reps to get a proof of concept, the next one is for you. The most talented kid from my school is literally unemployed sitting right now, and obviously no hate to him, because everybody follows a different path. But now let me tell you and give you a story about a loser. My psychology teacher called me a loser and actually challenged me in front of everyone. So I went home and I actually gave myself a challenge. I told my mom, I'm going to study for the next 3 days. From a topper, I became a failure in school, and I actually want to prove myself that I'm still capable. If I put my focus into something, I actually dominate that. And for 3 days, I studied day and night just to prove myself, not even the teacher, that I'm still capable. I'm not a loser. The only thing is, whatever I put my focus into, I just go and dominate that. And guess what? After 3 days, I go in a class, I literally ace the exam. And the teacher is super confused because I ace the topper, and that topper goes in the second position. position, and I am on the last position, 49th, and I become on the first. So it's a crazy jump. And the teacher accused me of cheating because obsession looks like cheating to people who were never obsessed, who were just, okay, do this thing 4 hours a day every single day. They haven't done work ethic. They don't have work ethic like maniacs, like 19 days, 19-hour days, 20-hour days, yada, yada, yada. And talent waits for mood. Talent waits for that creativity unlock. You know, you absorbing from the above and then presenting. Whereas obsession is whether you're sick, tired, unmotivated, you still want to do what you're doing because you cannot just stop yourself from doing it. And it outworks the gift, the talent, every single time. Talent's a lottery ticket. Either you're born with that or not. But obsession's a printer, and the printer is a sale for anyone. And I know which machine I'd rather own. And the last thing I want to talk about here, broke isn't a number in your bank account. It's literally the currency of speed. And I can hear yours from here. That could be slow replies, slow decisions, waiting on days to make one decision. Oh, I'll start on Monday. Oh, let me think about it after my high school gets over. Wait, is it even still worth, because millionaires made their money 10 years ago, so it's probably saturated. All those sorts of BS excuses. And whilst you were thinking about it, there was one guy who actually said, let me just give it a try and I'll see if it works or not, instead of just thinking about it. And being rich isn't balance either. It's a pace. It's literally motion. And motion is free. It costs you nothing to move like the version of you who has already won. It genuinely costs you nothing. The broke version of me and the man talking to you right now has one difference. And obviously it's number on a fucking screen. But even more than that is the speed in the decisions I make, the speed in whatever I put my mind into, the speed of telling my team to do what we want to achieve in the next couple of weeks, reverse engineering that, how we can achieve it in days instead, and the speed to change your life. Because trust me, nobody's gonna come to your home, hey man, here you go a Ferrari for all your efforts. Your efforts will all go into vain if you genuinely don't take an action. If you just quit, all the people who believed in you were actually right, and you're never gonna be able to prove them wrong. And instead you'd be just having pity in your mind that, oh, you never got a chance to taste what everybody was tasting. And that regret is going to cost you a fortune, because that regret is going to rent a place in your mind forever in your life, because everybody was succeeding, just not you. And that's one of the reasons that I recommend everybody clipping, because first of all, it doesn't require you to show your face. You could be living in a dungeon and have a toaster as a laptop and still be making a couple grand a month and climb up the ladder from there. There is no barrier to entry. All you gotta have is a mindset and a work ethic. If you cannot have that, you're out of the game, because the people who have nothing but the mindset and the work ethic will outcompete the fuck out of you. Just like how I did. I was number one in 80,000 clippers on whop last year. And as I said to you, the motion is free, and that's one of the reasons. The program I was planning to launch and make it paid, I actually launched it for free just for y'all. It's called military training, and it's supposed to be a paid program, and it will be super soon. But the first 100 people who are watching this video, who are seeing this information, will genuinely get it for free, because I want to reward everybody who doesn't have nothing but just the vision in their mind, and then are showing up every single day just waiting for their efforts to get rewarded. The first 100 people will get it for free, and the people who act late is going to cost them to enter the door. And that's all lies that everybody literally is spamming on you. You've heard all of them. Take notes, do whatever. I genuinely have no intention to make you believe false things just to profit me, because I do business God's way. I'm making money with or without you. That's not a problem. But what actually makes me happy and puts a smile on my face when somebody says, hey man, thank you for this. Thank you for giving me this advice, because I've sat around with a lot of people and I haven't recorded a content in a long minute, because I've never a content guy, never, front facing. But I actually think there is so much snake oil being sold in the space right now that I should get in the front, tell people what's the reality and what's not, because I've been from bottom and I've been in your shoes, so I actually know the perspective. I actually know the whole journey, where I've come so far, so I can guide you the steps in between, so you can come here, you can enjoy life, you can actually make your parents and family happy, you can actually finally believe in yourself, instead of looking out of the window seeing every other guy you see on the internet succeed, just not you. The only thing at the end of the video that I'll tell you is speed is what matters. If you're genuinely, just follow Newton's first law. Newton's first law says the object that stays in motion will stay in motion unless any external force applies to that to stop the motion. So make sure you follow Newton's first law, act with speed, the free program for first 100 people is literally the door is open. Make sure you grab it, and trust me, with that you're gonna experience your first wins faster than you ever would. That's my promise to you if you actually log the fuck in. Cheers. Now go print, bro. What the fuck are you waiting for? Let's fucking go, bro.